My name is Dr. Olga Glebova. I'm Associate Professor in Residence at the University of Connecticut at School of Computing. A lot of my work is associated with teaching. So I teach a lot of classes and I do research about student learning in my classes. And I also do the service work, for example, helping organizing conferences or helping with DI efforts at our school. I think I always liked the teaching part because it was like a discovery. So I liked learning when I was a student in school and later at university. And I think that's why when I get that idea that if I'll stay in academia, it's like second best job. The first one being a student, but the second best job would be to be a professor and to keep learning, to keep studying. My research is about how humans learn, but specifically in the area of computer science, that I use a guided inquiry approach, and I'm interested to write activity in a guided inquiry way, not to simply give a definition of a concept to students, but to lead them to that definition. And I study whether that is happening at what stage and how. And not just in computer science, but with some other colleagues in other disciplines as well. So for example, I already mentioned guided inquiry learning, but I specifically use what's called POGIL, process-oriented guided inquiry learning. In this strategy, students are put to work on teams, usually 4, and every student is given a specific role to perform on a team, and the activities are written in a very special way, such that they follow learning cycle. And I also use peer instruction. So this is where I ask a question, students have time to think about it themselves, then they answer it. And after that, before giving them the correct answer, they gain paired to discuss their answer with their peers. And then they're given a chance to answer the question again, perhaps changing their answer from the first take. And in this way, when they discuss those answers with other students, more learning happens and they have a better understanding of the concept as well. I use some other techniques as well, but those two are the major ones. So I do some service work, and for example, I serve on DI committees and we work on making more interesting activities for our undergraduate students, but also for the faculty and staff. And I serve on committees to organize conferences, so professional conferences in computer science education, the ones that I usually go every year, admire them, and this is me helping the community to put those conferences together. There are some other things, but those are a few examples. I actually think that I have a pretty good work-life balance now that I'm in a mid stage of my career. I like baking desserts. I like eating desserts, and so I like making desserts. So that's something that you can find me doing, especially when we have a snow day. I also like reading, hiking, especially taking my dog with me. That's always joyful.